Going live.
Yeah. We heard you. Boyd's no longer allowed to turn on from right at set. Okay. Here we go.
All right, it's 7 o'clock. I'll call this meeting to order. Let the record show that all members are present. And at this time, we'll stand and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the purpose of this meeting is to be a hearing regarding our tentative agreement, and I'll turn that over to Mr. Frank.
Okay, so I'm going to read through the tentative agreement. The bargaining team met with the teacher bargaining team on Monday, October 6th. And so these are the terms that we've come to for updating the master contract for the 25-26 school year. Base salary will be $250 added to every teacher's base salary, $250 stipend for all returning teachers. The next item is the literacy endorsement. The literacy endorsement is something that schools have to include in their master contract beginning with the 25-26 school year. It's state legislation. You just have to have some sort of pay increase to those teachers that hold the literacy endorsement through the IDOE. So for our contract, that'll be an extra $100. The way that'll be worked, it'll be 2 additional columns where if you have your bachelor's in a literacy endorsement or a master's in a literacy endorsement, those columns will be added to our compensation model to reflect the base salary differentiation. Teacher who anticipates earning a literacy endorsement on their Indiana teaching license, which would qualify them for this one-time $100 salary increase, should note the following. If the endorsement is completed by August 1st and verification is received by the Human Resources Department by August 30th, the teacher's salary will be adjusted according to the contract for that school year. For the 25-26 school year only, notification of the literacy endorsement credentials must be received by the Human Resources Department by November 15th of 2025 for the staff salary to be adjusted accordingly. And just so the board is aware, the literacy endorsement credential is added to the teacher's license. And so there's been coursework and a test that they have to take and submit that to their state licensing board. And then it gets officially added to their license. And that's the part that has to be verified through this office. Next, we had some language items that will be updated to the master contract. The first one is parental leave. Teacher who is pregnant, adopts a child, or is the non-birthing parent shall be entitled to 8 paid consecutive work days of paid parental leave. Teachers within their first 2 years of employment at the corporation shall be entitled to 10 consecutive work days of paid parental leave. All leave must be utilized within 6 weeks following the birth or the legal adoption of the child. Number 5, sick day buyback. And this is simply an update to some language that was already in there just to clarify the date range. So teachers wishing to sell back days to the district are to notify the office of the superintendent in writing between May 1st and June 1st with the number of days that they wish to sell. Number 6, sick leave reinstatement. A teacher who separates from employment with Washington Community Schools to accept a position with another school corporation and subsequently returns to employment with Washington Community Schools shall have 5 sick days per year reinstated from the balance of accumulated sick leave the teacher had at the time of separation. This annual reinstatement shall continue until the full amount of previously accrued sick leave from the teacher's prior employment with Washington Community Schools has fully been restored. Item 7, association leave section. The association president and/or designees shall be provided up to 5 days during the school year to conduct association business, including attendance at the legislature, workshops, seminars, and conventions. It is further understood and agreed to that anyone using an association leave day will give at least 24 hours notice of intent to take said leave. The association may request additional leave days, which the superintendent or their designee may approve at their discretion. Item 8, military service accreditation. Bargaining unit members new to corporation shall receive salary consideration for each year of service in a branch of the United States Armed Forces, up to a maximum of 4 years. In order to qualify for this consideration, the bargaining unit member must provide the corporation with documentation of service in the armed forces and a copy of their honorable discharge. 9, life insurance update. Effective January 1st, 2026, the corporation shall provide life insurance coverage in the amount of $90,000 to each employee who elects such coverage. I think that's an increase from $75,000. Number 10, health insurance premium holiday. The corporation shall pay the full cost of health insurance premiums for all teachers for one pay period in December of 2025. Number 11, deductible increase. In compliance with federal mandates, the corporation must increase the deductible amounts under the high deductible plan. The annual deductible for single coverage shall increase by $100, and the annual deductible for family coverage shall increase by $200. Item 12, HSA contributions. In January 2026, the corporation will make a one-time contribution to the health savings account of employees enrolled in a high deductible plan. Employees with single coverage will receive a contribution of $1,000. Employees enrolled in all other coverage tiers, employee plus spouse, employee plus dependent, employee plus family, will receive a contribution of $2,000. 13, bereavement leave. The bereavement leave section will be revised to include the loss of a stillborn child or a miscarriage. And 14, evaluation rating and eligibility will be removed as a requirement to receive the base salary increase. And that's the tentative agreement. And the one comment I would say is the raise isn't an amount that we're really happy to say. I mean, we definitely want to be able to give our teachers a bigger raise. We have had a decrease in enrollment this year, and just with the smaller increase from the state, it just creates basically a situation where we're already receiving less dollars than what we were last year. So I want to thank Matt, who's the bargaining chair for the teachers, and his team for understanding the situation that we're in. I don't want this to be what we do every year, and I want us to get back to a point like we've done for several years where we're giving salaries that increases that meet the cost of living and that sort of thing.
All right. So at this time, after we've read the agreement, we open up the floor to any comments or questions from the board or the crowd.
I'll start. That's okay.
Yes, sir.
We want to say thank you to the administration and the board too, because like Mr. Frank just said, there's very little new money. If not, we're getting less. And so we realize the board and the administration are kind of diving into our reserves and our pockets right there to give some sort of base increase right there. And we're really appreciative of that. So thank you.
How many sick days do we buy back at the end of the year?
So that's
as a rule.
Yeah. I think it's up to 4. And it's up to 4. So on a given year, we have some teachers that maybe have been here for many years. They might have accumulated 50 sick days, but it can only be up to 4 of that allotment for that year.
I read somewhere, so $75 and a day
Yeah,
that we.
so it'd be per day. So if, I think it's 12 sick days a year. So if you have at least 4 that you want to, essentially, the buyback is you can send back 4 from that allotment from that given year. You can't dip into what you've accumulated from prior years.
Okay.
So
Yes.
it's an incentive in a way. It's written that way to try to incentivize to not burn through all your sick days for a given year.
And I couldn't hear, it's, the teacher has to have over 90 days stored already of sick leave.
Yeah. So
But
this was just a small update. I would need to pull the whole piece of language out on that particular item.
But essentially, if they want to sell 4 days back, they have to end with 94 sick days at the minimum. And those 4 days have to be like given that current year, which is what Mr. Frank just said.
Okay.
That would be 4 out of those 12 that were given.
Okay.
Is there, just out of curiosity, is there a maximum you can accumulate? Is that regulated or?
You
What
can,
maximum?
you can begin a school year with 192 days, because it's 180 is what you can have at the end of the year, and then they'll get 12 the next year, so they could start with 192.
Okay.
Fair enough.
How many of our staff has that literacy endorsement?
Well, when
Their license.
we did a preliminary survey back in the summer, and at that time, only 5 turned it in. But I'm hearing that they were waiting to see what was going to happen, and that I would expect us to be in the teens when it's all said and done.
It takes a lot of time too, because like my wife just took the test over fall break. And she has to wait, I think it's 5 or 6 weeks for the results to come back. And then after those results come back, then she has to send them to the state through the Elvis portal, excuse me. And that takes however long for the state to update her license. So 2, 3, 4 weeks, you know, so
It's a long.
it takes a long time to get it going.
So even though this year's date's pushed back to November 15th, basically she's not gonna be eligible. She won't know by
She
then.
won't be eligible, she won't know by then. And she took the test this past week.
Until August of 26.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
she,
August.
She can get
next year she can turn it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is very good.
Sounds like, I wouldn't say what it sounds like. Sounds like everything, but anyway.
On number 14, am I reading that right? Whether, no matter what their evaluation says, they're getting.
So that's a legislative update that
Okay.
the state basically dropped that out as a requirement. And so there's like 5 categories that you have to include, like teacher need for certain areas. And the way that they'll write in the compensation, the Lewis, our attorneys, it'll satisfy 2 of those 5 categories. It's teacher need and I think maybe education. And so essentially it's dropped. The evaluation rating and eligibility will be removed as a requirement. So like that's not going to impact if they're able to move up, if everything else is satisfied.
Okay.
The thing that I would say on that, like if there's concern of like a teacher underperforming, I mean, there's other mechanisms in place, like improvement plans and things that an administrator would be working with a teacher on to help them improve and to get better.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? Just want to echo Mr. Frank's comments. I don't know if there's anybody at this table happy with these numbers. It's the numbers we have. And we appreciate the teachers and everything you all do. All right. With that, if no one has anything else to bring up for this short hearing tonight, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Hedrick, a second for Mrs. Browning. All in favor? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.